Hello, this is Postdoc Chronicles week 112, and this is gonna be very quick because I got swamped with a lot of stuff, this week and last week. But anyway, let's talk a little bit about Super Mario Brothers 35. It's basically a Super Mario Brothers, but using the Tetris 99 format. It's a free to download if you have a subscription to the Nintendo Switch Online. Basically, you battle it out with the 34 other players, and then it's basically the last man standing. So if you fall, you're dead. If an enemy kills you, you're dead. If the time is out, you're dead. And so what you want to do is you want to survive as long as the longest as possible, and then enemies that you kill get sent to the enemy side, and then the enemies they kill get sent to your side. You collect coins so that you get items to use like flowers and star and stuff, and then you also like collect other if for example you collect a flower on top of a flower that you already have, then it adds on the existing time. And it's very important to kill a lot of enemies because it's what they're the ones that add on your existing time. Initially you start at 35 seconds, and then you have to build on that, and then eventually if most like I've tried like only like five or four of us were left, and then we were really good. It took a long time. Eventually, there will be this thing called sudden death. Like the clock runs down very fast. It runs faster more that you can refill it, and so eventually someone will die. The one with the longer time will be the highest. And so it's very nice. Like I got first all the time. I think one of the reasons is because I modded my Switch, to have a D-pad, and you can think of this like I made this D-pad in anticipation for this game, but definitely check it out if you have the NSO subscription. But anyway, going back to the postdoc. So last week I had to go to school actually to like print some stuff to for my visa renewal, because the visa office opened I think a week ago or something like that, and then they were now receiving renewal documents. And in fact, the earliest schedule that I got is actually yesterday, so I came there yesterday. We'll talk about it on the Post Chronicles for this week. We'll talk about last week, but also yeah, like this Friday I'll be presenting two presentations on for Atlas. One is for PMSSM, the other one is for my QT. So I'm still doing the slides for my QT for this Friday. But basically last week I did a lot of our runs for MUED. We now have some exclusions plots that looks very nice, that improves upon the old existing exclusion plots that were, I think, the 1/r value is only around 1,400, the exclusion line, and then beyond that it's excluded. We were able to, I don't know, before that, I mean, it's excluded, we were able to extend that to 1/6. But the nice thing is I have this other run where, so we have sort of exclusion plot that proves to show that if you don't use matching, then the exclusion plots that you get for a just a shower version, let's say just using Pythia, has a huge margin of error. So now I'm running something that is on a power scale. I have an exclusion plot for Wimpy, and then I'm gonna superimpose this, and I'm gonna show that the band for the exclusion line, the uncertainty is very large. So you really would need to use some matching for this case. And then also in the checkmate. So John was already asking for the status of the analysis that I'm implementing, and so far I was already done with the I'm already in the the signal regions B and C, which are much more easier than the first signal region I was looking at, because there are a lot of overlaps in cuts. So the bulk of the work is actually in the signal region A, because all of these cuts, some of these cuts in the at least in the first part, will be recycled in signal regions B and C. So I got stuck in this. So first of all, there's this cut on the missing energy, and I got stuck in it for a really long time, because if I follow the missing energy trigger of the Atlas paper, which is 250 GeV, then when you use it in checkmate, the cut is stronger than the efficiency is lower basically in checkmate. And so it turns out that, like Christoph said, that you can actually, like, because the trigger, the sensitivity of the trigger does not have is not really matched with the Atlas and the one that is existing in the checkmate. So he said, in principle, I can like play around with that initial trigger. So whatever values I have, such that the initial trigger cut would match with the Atlas paper. And it turns out for signal region A, I have to go as low as 115 GeV missing energy cut compared to the 250 used by Atlas. But then afterwards it is fine, and then I hit another wall, which is on the tau veto. And this one's a bit weird because so basically there are jets with a certain property that becomes tau candidate, and if these tau candidate follow certain conditions or certain parameters, then you veto the event entirely. The weird thing is, so in the Atlas implementation that I'm looking at, they have like a pseudocode that comes with it, and that actually makes writing the analysis implementation for it a bit easier, because you have a pseudocode that you can compare. The weird thing is, this pseudocode does not compare a tau veto part. Like, I look at it very carefully, it does not apply a tau veto. And the weird thing is also with the Atlas paper, it comes attached with if you look at the hepdata website, it comes attached with the cut flow for certain signal regions. The signal region A, if you look at the cut flow, the tau veto is there, and it doesn't, like, the its effect is not that huge, but it has a little effect. But it's there in their cut flow, but it's not in their pseudocode. So it's weird. So maybe, I don't know, maybe the pseudocode is not updated or something, but the one that they uploaded was not the final one. I don't know, but the tau veto wasn't there. So I actually indicated that as one of the comments in my code. I said that in the pseudocode that exists for this Atlas paper, it doesn't have the tau veto. But yeah, so when I used my tau veto, mine was very strong. Like initially when I used it was very strong. I had to play around with it, and then fortunately I was able to find like an older Atlas paper that uses the same veto cut, and then someone already implemented that particular veto on an old CheckMATE analysis. So I just look at that snippet of code, and in fact it's a bit different because in mine, in the Atlas paper, they said that the jets are the ones that are being considered as tau candidates. In this old CheckMATE paper, it says the jets that are not B tagged, and basically when you say B tagged, these are like jets that comes from bottom quarks, basically. So in the old paper, it says jets that are not B tagged, these are the ones that are being considered as tau candidates. In this current paper that I'm looking at, it only said jet, any arbitrary jet, so it doesn't have to be necessarily B tag. So initially, I just look at the signal jets to be potential tau candidates. But the thing is, like I said, the cut for that was very powerful. So when I tried to follow the old one, where they only considered non-B tag jets as tau candidates, then it worked. My cut flow now looks very nice, very similar to the Atlas one. So I went with that. Even though in the paper they said that they are considering jets as tau candidates, they didn't explicitly mention jets that are not B tag. If I do that, then the cut becomes very powerful, and then the cut flow becomes so different. But when I think of, I only consider non-B tag jets as tau candidates, then the cut flow matches a little bit. So that's it. Yeah, but yeah, right now, hopefully this Friday after our presentations, I can do another Postdoc Chronicle update. But yeah, that's it for now. I'm still gonna work on my slides, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, and bye bye.